Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bounce Checks, a Big Brother recap podcast here, hosted by Silent Podcast, where we are anything but silent. I am here taking hosting duties away from our friend Isaiah today. He's with us, but he's a little hot, a little sweaty, and he might have to step away in a few minutes, so we're switching things up a little bit. I am Katie. I'm here with Isaiah and Josi. Isaiah, how are you? You're muted.
You see these sweat follicles, man, it's crazy, okay? I'm sweaty, but you know what? I'm never too sweaty for Big Brother talk. So, yes, I'm here.
These players are pretty sweaty in this house, too.
For Taylor,
let me tell you, some of them afraid of showers, even.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Isaiah may have to step away for a minute. His AC is down, so this man needs to prioritize his air conditioner over this Big Brother house. So we understand if the guy comes, he's going to step away. If not, he'll be here with us. So, Josi, how are you?
I'm good. Honestly, I really enjoyed my time last time. I just got to call people losers for like 2 hours straight.
Well, Josi, we're going to get to do it again today.
I can't wait to do it again. One thing about me, I'm going to speak my truth and I'm going to call people some losers. So I'm ready to get into it.
I'm excited. So there's plenty to talk about. I think there's plenty to call these people out on. A lot has happened. We had Pooch volunteering to go up on the block last week. We had a Jasmine HOH when she was injured on her Christmas scooter. We had a twist that was announced last night. We had an eviction episode that was bumped from Thursday, then to Friday, now to Sunday for a 2-hour episode. Where do you guys want to start? There's so much to talk about, so much to cover. Where do you guys want to jump in?
We might as well just discuss what's happened since the last HOH was crowned, because that was something else. We got our one-legged HOH reign that just ended. I don't think we've seen the eviction officially yet because of delays, right?
No. So we were worried that feeds were going to be down all weekend from Thursday to Sunday after the episode, but they actually gave us feeds back right after the HOH competition. If anybody doesn't know, Turner is our new HOH. We have a twist that was announced sort of on the feeds last night. So we've pieced these things together. We know kind of like who's paired up with who. We know what the Festie Bestie is. So we'll talk about that. We heard Pooch got eliminated 12-0. So it sounds like he was tipped off right before the elimination. I think Turner was also told a few minutes before. So unfortunately, no blindside, no true blindside anyway. So as always, that's pretty disappointing. What do you guys think about Pooch's week last week and Jasmine's HOH reign?
Yeah, I think Pooch got a little too confident, man. We've seen this in Big Brother history multiple times, where someone's confident enough to go on the block as a pawn, and they completely just regret their decision seconds later. And honestly, it's been a couple of seasons since we've seen someone be dumb enough to do something like this. like this is very like a old school Big Brother mistake here.
Yep.
But now Pooch is the next inductee for dummies to nominate themselves and go home. So I'm very excited to see how angry he allegedly was, or how awkward his exit was, and I'm going to be living for every second of
it.
Same. I'm looking forward to it.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me that Pooch, out of all of the cast members, was the one to go and say, hey, I'm going to put myself on the block. Like, if I was expecting it from anyone, it would have been him. No shade, no tea. Actually, all shade, all tea. But all I have to say is that I just think it was so stupid for him to even do that. And the fact he was so arrogant enough to believe that he was indestructible, untouchable. Like in Thursday's episode, we see Joseph come up to him and be like, hey, like, don't be too confident, like, be careful. And Pooch literally calls Joseph an idiot. And I'm like, bestie, that's gonna age like the milk in Isaiah's house, perhaps, if it wasn't like, it's just gonna age moldy, old. It's gonna be atrocious. So
I'm lactose intolerant.
Maybe some almond milk, perhaps. But all that to say, I'm glad that the man is gone. Julie does no longer have to say Pooch, and neither do I. So praise.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if the announcer is like Pooch screwed the pooch or some stupid pooch joke that I will see what happens on Sunday when we see the episode. But yeah, it's kind of baffling the confidence that this man had going into this week, saying, you know what, just put me up and don't even put Taylor up. Let's backdoor her. And then didn't even really think until really right before he started spiraling, I think that Wednesday night into Thursday, that he might potentially have to start working for votes. And then all he really did was beg everybody to be in alliance with him. I mean, he literally went throughout the house and asked every single person to be in an alliance with him with different iterations, and everybody was comparing notes. But I mean, this man was confident this whole week that he wasn't going anywhere. And the minute he said, you could put me up, Amira and everybody else were kind of like, we got to take the shot at Pooch. Like, there was no chance that he was staying unless he happened to win the veto. So this is an all-time bad move. I mean, literally all the guy had to do was nothing this week. He didn't have to open his mouth at all. He wouldn't have been on the block. So it's pretty hilarious that it ended up this way.
I will say there was a conversation about potentially taking Taylor off the block and putting up Joseph or like Monty. I'm so sad that didn't happen personally. Am I surprised it didn't happen? Not really, because the women on the cast just are obsessed with Taylor. I don't know what it is. She just got the sauce, I guess. It's something about Black women. I don't know. We just do it for them. But yeah, I would have loved to see 2 strong men on the block. Give me Karen week 1, BB Can, 5 T's. I was so here for it, but of course it just had to be Jasmine HOH, who is the #1 fan on the Taylor membership. So yes. I was really excited. I was hoping, I was praying perhaps, but here we are. But it's okay. The pooch is out.
The pooch is out. We have a new HOH. It's unfortunately Turner. Which I found out last night when the feeds came back on, and I was shocked. When I turned the feeds on, he and Kyle were talking to each other about the room and how they were going to do his laundry, and I was like, no, tell me this man did not win HOH. The kicker about it is that we have the Festie Bestie twist, which means each person in the house is paired up with someone, another their bestie, I guess, in the house. They were able to choose their own pairs for this twist. I don't think we know how long or how many weeks this twist is going to last, but Turner and Jasmine are partners. And basically, the long and short of it is that everything that your pair does, you have to do. So if you're HOH, that means your pair is safe. If you're up on the block, that means your pair is next to you. If you win veto, that means both, and you take yourself down, that means you and your Festie Bestie come down off the block together. We don't really know what the veto competition is going to look like. I think the assumption is that they'll pick chips, and the chips will be 2 names. I don't know if both people have to win the veto yet, or if they're going to be competing in pairs. But essentially, you and your Festie Bestie are doing everything together. If you're have-nots, you're have-nots with your Festie Bestie. So Turner's Festie Bestie is Jasmine. So that means Jasmine is safe 2 weeks in a row. Can you believe that?
This is like the season of like the most random people winning HOH.
Yes.
Like we don't usually get these types of people winning HOH, but here we are. Production's going to have a field day trying to edit Turner into the show because he's relevant. But and it's hilarious that production took the master plan from Tiffany Mitchell and made it into a twist.
Yep.
So this is crazy. I don't know if it's good or bad crazy, but it's something.
I think it's pretty terrible crazy.
Yeah.
To your point, Isaiah, I would just like to say that Tiffany Mitchell is an icon and a moment. But I don't know if you guys saw this on the timeline. I guess I'm gonna talk about something that's outside of the show, but not kind of intersects with it. But CBS released a Hall of Fame or whatever.
It was fake.
Players.
I think it was fake. I think there were rumors that it was
God.
real.
I was about to
that was the worst.
I'm like,
bro, I had to delete my tweets. I had to delete a lot of tweets.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I take it back. But someone cleverly put on the timeline that they had this Hall of Fame, and Tiffany Mitchell was not on there. And I didn't tweet anything because I was like, you know what? Let me save it for the podcast. I'm gonna drag CBS once again. But count your blessings. Yeah. CBS, that was fake.
CBS got lucky today.
Yeah, but no, I think the Festie Besties twist is the entire hype that Julie was talking about. Like everyone was theorizing earlier about the 2 the twos, like, oh wow, like the two in her ponytail, the two in the shadows, everything. I think that was the plan the entire time, like having this thing. And that's why I think this twist might not just be a week-long twist, which is so unfortunate. But yeah, I do think it's gonna last a while. I think that was the whole hypothesis of the twist of the season. And what I think is so frustrating is that if this is going to be a long-term twist, why the hell are we letting people pick their partners? Why was that given to them? You just gave the game to the majority alliance on a silver platter. And these people preseason have been talking about season 16, have been talking about Derek. So they already were going into this, for lack of a better word, like Julie Chen likes to say, mom mentality of let's get all of this big group of people and just write it out. And these people didn't have much to base it off of. They just looked, okay, this guy's good looking and tall and strong. I'm a pretty girl. And they put this group together and they just gave them the game. So honestly, the winner of the season, to me, at this rate, will be the people within that 6-person alliance. I don't remember what their alliance was because it's not Mobamba anymore.
No, it's
Mobamba,
what is it called? It's called Pose. It's like it was Paloma's posse, and then it was Pose posse. Now what is it, like Pose Place or something? I don't even know the name of it because it has to do with Paloma.
Only because I gotta jump for a few minutes.
Yes.
I wanted to say that if they wanted this twist to be like good, they should have did what they did last season, where they make the teams from day one.
Yes.
So or like maybe they make these pairs day one, so they don't have the opportunity to decide if they like someone or not, and then. Oh shoot! I like we saw this in Big Brother 13 where they all had to choose their duos, and then like it completely screwed up some people's game. Like do it when they don't know each other, you know.
Right.
Or Adam's season too, like that season 9 was it?
Adam Pock. Oh, Jasinski. Yes, but that was also random. They
also picked like they were duos. I think it's so unfortunate. Even if they're doing it, I don't care that I would find it really entertaining if what would have happened is that they picked people a few days, like at this rate, but then have someone like Taylor be with someone who's in a really power position or someone who's against her. Not that I would ever wish her on Turner, please.
No.
But that dynamic or that idea of that dynamic to me is intriguing because now this person is your game. So what do you do now that you've been going after this person for X amount of days and now you have to pivot with your like alliances? That could be an interesting game concept.
Yeah.
Or it's interesting to see how people maneuver or adapt to that. But because they just gave it to them, it was clear that the popular kids, for lack of a better word again, were going to steamroll this idea.
Yeah. And I can really quickly go over who the pairs are, which I think is, some of them are interesting. Some of them aren't super interesting. We have Amira paired with Terence, which I think is a very interesting pair. We have Michael and Brittany paired together. We have Turner and Jasmine. We have Kyle and Daniel, Indy and Alyssa, Monty and Joseph, and Nicole and Taylor. So essentially there's everybody from Pose Pack or whatever this alliance is called is paired with someone who's not in Pose Pack. So they're able to, I believe, let me just double check. We have Amira not paired with anybody. Yeah, we have everybody in Pose Pack not paired with someone who's not in Pose Pack. So they always have a pawn to sit next to on the block, which essentially guarantees, if this alliance stays strong and these numbers stay strong, it basically guarantees that Pose Pack makes it to the jury. If this twist, they're assuming that it's a 4-week-long twist, which would take us basically right to jury. So it's really unfortunate. I don't know what would make this twist better. Maybe randomizing the pairs, but it just feels like there's always going to be someone seizing the opportunity to be like, I don't care if my bestie goes, put me on the block. And especially if you're in the majority alliance, put me on the block and just vote this person out, which is what they're talking about with Taylor. We do know that the noms... go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing I can think of is if we're going to reference another show, but if they pull a Challenge USA where they're like, oh, you feel so comfortable with your partner?
Yes.
Let's randomize it. Do I think it's going to happen? No, because I just feel like the fact that they're both going on, it just wouldn't happen. But that is the only way. Because then on a production can rig. We know they rig. Okay, at this rate, let's just be real.
Yeah.
The production can rig, put this majority alliance together, get someone who's not in the majority, like a Taylor, to win HOH, and then have these people scram. Like that kind of like a BB20, I think, where we have two allies who are on the block, and then you have to, then it becomes, who do you pick? Who is at the top of the chain?
Right.
And that can awaken some people to think, oh, where do I position myself in this duel if it were me? You know? So, but I don't think that's likely, which is sad.
It is sad. And I think, it really interrupts people's willingness to take a shot, because Turner maybe would have taken a shot at Monty, but he's not going to take a shot at Joseph and risk Joseph going home. So that rules that group out right away. He already told Alyssa that he wouldn't put her up. So that rules Alyssa and Indy out right away. So there really are like very limited moves that he can make unless he really wants to take a shot. There was talk of the guys wanting to put up Amira this week, but Turner does not want Terence to go home. So he won't put up Amira because he knows that the House will vote out Terence over Amira. So it just really limits even the gameplay, especially if there's this majority alliance, unfortunately. So before nominations, the TLDR so far of what happened last night is that Jasmine got it into Turner's head that somehow Taylor is at fault for leaking the Oasis Alliance, which is not true. Alyssa told Pooch about the Oasis Alliance and is blaming Taylor for taking over her HOH by basically saying, well, she found out about the Oasis and then she spread it, and that's how she got the votes flipped, because everybody wanted to save Pooch, which obviously we know is not the case. The plan was to get Pooch out to begin with. This worked on Turner. He probably just wanted an excuse to put Taylor up anyway. Nicole is saying, put me up. I don't care. Backdoor us. Well, I'll make sure we don't win the veto. Like, backdoor us so we don't necessarily get pulled, and just vote to keep me and vote out Taylor. So the plan right now, we know noms just happened. Michael and Brittany are up on the block as a pair together. The hope of the house is that Taylor and Nicole don't get picked to play veto. They will be the backdoor plan. Taylor will be the one who leaves 3 weeks in a row. Poor Taylor is on the block. If Taylor does get picked, Taylor and Nicole, and Taylor does win veto, then the plan is to vote out Brittany. And the week is over. I mean, that's pretty much the week. We already know there's no gameplay. There's no strategizing that needs to happen. The week is over. It's either Taylor or Brittany. It feels like it's pretty obvious. And it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring. This twist. I think we had some interesting stuff that could have happened in the season last week. I think we were really shaping up to see like the men versus the women go at it, which I think, we always hear about it, but it really did seem interesting. Like, depending on who won the HOH, we could have seen Amira, if she won, take a big shot at a Monty or a Kyle or something like that to weaken the guys. But now with this, it's like it's just, let's get through the next couple of weeks, get our besties out, and then the game will start at 6 and the alliance will start picking each other off, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so crazy to me how it felt like we were going one step forward, and now I feel like we're taking 3 steps back. Yes, Olivia Rodrigo reference for the girls. I get it. It really sucks because we were talking last week about the idea of like Nicole and Amira and then Taylor coming in and just wrecking the game. Yeah. And that had so much potential. And now Taylor is like Nicole's bestie, and then they're just like, Nicole's like, well, Sykes, peace out that idea, which is crazy to me because the thought still stands. Like, and this is what I don't understand. I feel like at the end of the day, yes, everyone's gonna make friends. Don't get me wrong. I love to make friends. I'm a social butterfly. You'll see me. I'll dance on tables. Let's have a good time. But at the end of the day, if I'm in the house, there's only one winner.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I'm not like Paloma. I'm not trying to invest in everyone's business. Sorry, I got bills to pay, school tuition fees to pay. Like I'm not riding that train, unfortunately. Right. So why is it that we keep going with this crowd mentality? Because that's going to only work well for one person within the 6. And that's the issue, is that I don't think people are thinking. Obviously, we had kind of this conversation with Kevin where Kevin was talking about the fact that he tries to survive in the beginning, pre-jury, you have to survive week after week after week. But then it's like, if you have no social capital at the point that you get to jury, then what's the point? Because then you're just going to be the first person out, and you're going to be in jury, and you're going to be waiting for everyone else who took initiative to maybe make these outside relationships. And I feel like if no one outside of the 6 is willing to like try and like manipulate or alter the game towards their advantage, and that's so unfortunate because like this is like, what did you come here to play then?
Right. Exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned Kevin, because if you think about this twist, let's say they implemented it in Big Brother Canada 10. Let's say Marty and Kevin ended up as BFF. Let's just say they were Festie Besties. Who knows how they would have been picked? Kevin would have been out early. Marty would have been like, put me up and take out Kevin. I mean, granted that season was chaos, but like we could have lost one of the greatest players that we've seen in a really long time just to some stupid twist. So it's very unfortunate that it's just like, oh, we can plan this out now week by week and just say like, well, we have the numbers. We're broken up. None of the alliance are together. So we'll just stick with Poe's pack till we get to jury and then we're good. The one thing is I do think that Michael and Kyle were talking a little bit earlier about how it seems like Nicole's really excited about this and that she's kind of already scheming it to get her people in jury. So if we get anybody, it could be Michael and Kyle that come in and just say like, nope, we got to shut this down. Maybe we should take out Nicole. We'll see how the week plays out. We did have a little bit of a chaotic week last week with some of like, you know, the drama of wanting the guys to vote out Pooch and not wanting to vote out Pooch. So we could maybe see some pivots, but I really don't think so. Taylor's sitting up there. If she's sitting up there after the jury, she's a very easy target. So is Brittany. Why shake things up and make things, you know, chaotic in the house when there's this bestie twist going on? It just dampens the whole game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it gives no place for. I think why a lot of us like this game is the strategic and adaptability aspect of it, at least for myself. Like I'd like to see how you can maneuver a challenge. And I feel like when you put a twist like that, you're not allowing people to potentially make these moves, make these plans. The whole, like Isaiah mentioned, this whole twist, if it goes up until jury, is literally last season. It's right there for you.
It is.
You just have to watch the last season. So you don't have to do much. There is no interesting gameplay that can arise in this situation, in this twist, if it lasts for as long as it does. And then my next question becomes then, let's say hypothetically Taylor goes home. Nicole has no Festie Bestie. Is she immediately in the VIP and she just immediately makes it to jury? Like that to me is gonna like also ruin the game. Like, you know what I mean? But then she can't be partnered up with anyone else. So what happens next? It's like everything. No, keep going.
I was just that's actually part of the reason why Nicole also wants to go up on the block, and it's a really good point, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because she thinks that if she's the first person with her bestie eliminated, she gets a power. I don't know if this was said to her or if this was confirmed by production or something. I don't think we've seen them say that yet. Maybe we'll hear it on Sunday, but she's very much like, yeah, I'll probably get a power. So like, get rid of my bestie. It's fine. What are we doing?
Like, to me, and the thing is that the whole Big Brother plot or whatever is like tagline is expect the unexpected. But putting two people up together as a duo or whatever you want to call it has been done several times. Not it's season 9, it's season 13, you know, season 6 technically with them being duos, like secret duos and like having that secret person. Like it's been done so many times. And like, even if you do, for example, the Battle of the Block, where there's two people who are together and they have to work together. It's like, it's already been done before. And so it's like, you're not allowing these players to foster in an environment that hasn't been seen before. And so they can't come up with their own strategies and their own gameplay. It just takes someone who's seen a season and to be very popular or to be that straight white man to navigate this game and win. Like, to me, I would see Kyle winning at the end of this, or maybe Alyssa. And that's crazy to me because I don't like the idea of knowing who I think will win from week 2 or 3. Technically, week 2, week 3. So it's just it's boring. It's boring.
It's very boring. Since we've been talking about this terrible twist, I think it's time we may as well start our ratings. We'll start while Isaiah's getting his AC fixed, and hopefully he's back to throw in a few comments here and there once we have it going on. So okay, let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. There we go. We got it. So here's where we left off last week. If you're watching the YouTube video, we have the tier list up on the screen. If not, I'll just read it out for you really quickly. If you're listening in podcast form, we have nobody at S tier, nobody in A tier. I don't imagine that to change this week. At the B tier,
especially with this one.
No. At the B tier, we have Michael at the top of it. We have Amira in second. We have Nicole in third. We have Kyle sitting all by himself in the C tier. In the D tier, we have Alyssa at the top and then Joseph. And this F tier is crowded, Josie. We're at max capacity for the F tier. We have Monty, we have Jasmine, we have Turner, we have Brittany, we have Daniel, we have Indy, we have Terence. We have Taylor in her own tier because it's just not fair to, we decided last week to rate her against these people who just had a hate boner for her since she walked into the house, and she just does not have the ability, unfortunately, to play this game. And then we added Pooch to the eliminated column with Paloma. So where should we start? Anyone you want to start with?
Honestly, I think we can work our way. Do you want to work our way from the bottom to the top, perhaps?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with Terence.
I don't think I'm going to move some people, to be honest.
I don't think I'm going to move some people either. Let's start with Terence. We'll talk about Taylor in a little bit. Let's talk about Terence.
Mm-hmm.
So Terence is in the house. That's all I have to say about him. Do you have any thoughts about Terence, Josie?
It's giving furniture. Like, Terence is one of those people who I would be so interested to see how the production will do if he or his duo win HOH, because it's like furniture, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, he's just there.
Yeah. He's just there. I mean, I think the benefit for him is that he has Amira as his Festie Bestie. And I don't believe that they actually share HOH powers. Like, the only person in the HOH room this week, luckily for Jasmine, I guess, is Turner. She doesn't have to stay in there with him or anything. She doesn't have to nominate anybody. But she's just safe because Turner's HOH. So he would just get safety if Amira won. I don't foresee him winning. Maybe. You never know. I didn't really think Taylor was going to win. I didn't think Jasmine was going to win with her injured foot. So you really never know. But
yeah,
he's just there.
Honestly, Terrence as a whole just seems like he's going to be carried, or like he has no control in the game, and therefore his destiny is never in his hands type thing. I think there are people who could beat him in competitions. I mean, I'm never going to underestimate anyone, but I feel like if it's like endurance, there may be people who are better suited for that. Or if there was like, I don't know, what these comps this season are so weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe you could eat down in a pie eating competition where you have to like guess if it's T or F. But quite frankly, at this rate, to me, it's like he has no destiny or control. If people decide to take him to the jury, he will. If people are like, we love everyone in our group and everyone is connected to someone, then he's just an easy out. Like, he has nothing going for him, which is so unfortunate. Like, nothing.
Yeah, and I think if Turner didn't win HOH this week because he has a relationship with Terence, he's one of the few that I feel like has a pretty close relationship with Terence. There's a chance that Terence could be going home this week. I mean, depending on where the numbers fall, if Kyle gets up, no, let's not say that. Let's say if Alyssa and Indy go up. Nope, sorry, I'm wrong. If Kyle goes up and wants to take a shot at Amira, let's say, or Monty goes up and wants to take a shot at Amira, there's a chance that the girls have the numbers to keep Amira safe and Terence would go home. Like, I just, it's this twist kind of adds an interesting element to it. If there's no twist, let's say the twist ends next week or the week after, Terence is a very easy pawn that could very easily go home. He's an easy nom. He's very likely to just be like put up on the block as a placeholder and then potentially go home. Like, he probably would have been up on the block at some point next to Taylor last week if Pooch didn't nominate himself. He could have very easily been a nom for that week, 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, Terence is just kind of there for me.
Honestly, Turner's like, I think honestly the only reason he's protecting Terence is because Turner has no one. Like, imagine going last week thinking Taylor's going, the girl he's been like trying to go after this entire time, and then being revealed that he's gonna need to gravitate towards people who are at the bottom. And it's clear that Terence would have never been a part of the big group, which is unfortunate. This is just the world we live in the game. Oops. Maybe in an older season, because they used to have the old people up there, but I don't know, older people, not old. But in this cast.
So what do we think? Do we want to leave Terence exactly where he is? Do we want to move him up in F?
Yeah, F is for furniture, and that's where he belongs.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Indy. Any thoughts on Indy? I think Indy's an interesting one. I've actually been enjoying her a little bit more on the feeds. she's fun to watch. She's a have-not this week, so I think she's going to be rubbing some people the wrong way because she was not happy about being a have-not. The second that she got chosen, even before that, she didn't want to be one. So I think she's going to be a good time to watch, at least this week. But any thoughts on her gameplay?
Yeah, Indy's just entertaining. That's it. Yeah. Like, she's entertaining. She's fun. She speaks her mind. She's a little bit chaotic. Like, occasionally on my timeline, I'll see that random picture of her with black feet. Like, it's just too chaotic for me. Like, a really good way. Yeah, I don't know. She's just, again, F is for furniture, but she's entertaining. She's like the equivalent of like an accent couch, like a cute little chair. It's fun and it's funky and it adds to the house, but other than that, like it's there to be sat on. Like, I don't know. And not to say that she's someone to like let herself be sat on, but like realistically in this game, she has nothing. She doesn't have allies. Like, she doesn't have what it takes to win at this rate. I know it's week 3, but still, like, a lot of the iconic winners that I could think of, they kind of had their hands in some jars a little bit, and she's again, accent couch in the best way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, she does have the girls, but I think we know that the girls are not really the strongest alliance. I think it's very easy for her to get put up as a potential pawn. I think if
she's
one of the guys
going on, I was gonna say, like, she's at the bottom of that alliance. Like, sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think Brittany's at the bottom, but I think Indy's right there. She's not part of Poe's pack, which actually neither is Jasmine. But she is definitely she's expendable to them for sure. She's a good number for voting with them. But I think, if it came down to it, especially with Alyssa as her pair, Alyssa and her get on the block, she's the one that's going to go home. Let's say one of the guys wants to target them. If it turns out that, let's say, Taylor wins the veto this week and isn't a backdoor target potential, it's possible if she uses the veto to take down Michael and Brittany, which I probably would. I mean, this is such a long shot that maybe Alyssa and Indy would go home, but Turner promised Alyssa safety. He didn't promise Indy anything, so maybe she would be just like the pawn that gets sent home or something. But I mean, you never know. She's just kind of expendable, unfortunately. I wouldn't keep her. I don't know personally. I don't know that I would put her at the bottom of F, because we have some pretty bad players in this F tier that I think we might be moving down, at least in my opinion. Do we want to leave her where she is?
No, we can move her. Like, obviously, we can move her upwards. Like, people are going to shift anyways in that column, to be honest. But yeah, like, to your point, even if Turner promised something to Alyssa, people have broken their promises several times before. So it's like true. Your word is not your bond. Like, it's not like guaranteed. But at the end of the day, I do think that if next week a man wins, they're prime because there are 2 women attached to each other. So yeah, I think she's high F because she's fun to me. F is for fun furniture.
F is for fun furniture. Let's move Monty. Perfect. Okay. Daniel, what do we have to say about Daniel?
The whole Taylor crush thing. I have to get this out of the way quickly. This out of the way. Yeah. Taylor, stand up. I'm really hoping that in the next episode we get a segment about this weird thing, and Taylor's in the DR, and she's like, "Say, it's all in the game." Like, I'm really hoping and praying, because this man hates her. It's actually crazy how much this man hates her.
Hates her.
Like, hates her. It's so down bad. It's so bad. It's so ridiculous. It's so down bad. So I'm really hoping Taylor, stand up. That's the first thing. I just need to get this out of my system, and I can move on and forget about it. Yeah, I don't know. He is all over the place. I want to talk about last week, Daniel.
Yeah.
He said a comment about wanting to come into the house and work with the women and like go against the men. And I found that so strange, because I swear on his HOH.
Yep.
He put up a woman. Is Taylor not a woman at this rate? Are you, and this is what I mean, intersection. there's something about gender and race that people sometimes forget that can intersect, and it's important to protect all women. Like, it's important to protect like, you got like all Black people, all people of color. But yeah, okay, let's forget that. He was already bro, and then the moment the girls come in talking about, I want to go after the guys, he's like, oh yeah, I'm down, I want to protect women. No.
Yep.
And the thing is, if Daniel is ever in power, he will not target the men. He's full of it. He is full of it. Like, shut up, move on. Just be honest. Just be like, hey, you know what? I was kikiing with the boys last week, but you guys are my priority. I'll take that over some BS bullshit talking about, oh yeah, I wanted to roll with the girls. No, you didn't. This is not Frenchie. You're not Frenchie week one. Actually, it is giving Frenchie week one.
It is giving Frenchie. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's giving Frenchie. Yeah. And not in a good way. Because Frenchie was like, he was kind of chaotic, but entertaining. Yeah. And like, he didn't upset me too much. Like, he said he wasn't going to put up the minorities. It's okay. It's fine. I've moved on. But at least he provided entertainment. And a non-fake Southern accent like Miss Jasmine. But let me not let me not talk on her yet. How did you feel about Daniel?
I agree with everything you said. Coming into the house, he did say in his interviews, like, I don't want to work with the macho men. Then it's like the macho men obviously gave him, I'm sorry, I think he phrased it in the house, or they all said like the big, tall, strong guys, because he's tall. There was a whole conversation with him and Monty and Joseph about the big, tall, strong guys. And Daniel got his ego pumped up by these men that are built and like traditionally handsome, including him. But they didn't make an alliance around him. We said last week that Daniel didn't make a structure around himself in his week one HOH.
Absolutely.
I think we had known, we as the fandom in general knew that these men would not want anything to do with this man after his HOH reign. And
absolutely,
lo and behold, we were right. He's like a wet pair of socks to me. He has no conviction. He's kind of like a mirror. He'll repeat what other people say and other people's opinions. He was fine with Taylor, and now everybody hates Taylor, so he hates Taylor. And he hates Taylor now the most out of anybody. Him and Jasmine are like the two top Taylor haters in the house. Pooch was one too, but it's just and Monty, I guess there's a lot of them. But it's just bizarre. And same thing, it's like the men are like, you're a big, strong man. He's like, I'm a big, strong man. And then he's like, actually, I'm with the women because the women want me now. It's like he doesn't have an opinion of his own. And you're right, it's totally giving Frenchie less chaos, but that's what we enjoyed Frenchie's HOH for a reason. We didn't like Frenchie, we liked his HOH because it was a mess. This guy's just there. Unfortunately, I think Nicole is going to be a really strong ally for him, and I think he's working with her to kind of build a little bit of structure around himself, and he is making some inroads. So I think unfortunately he's going to be with us for a while. Who's his partner? Kyle. There is a chance that if the girls put up Kyle, that Daniel could go, but I could also see the girls taking the shot at Kyle because there are so many conversations about getting out the strong guys. So if a girl wins HOH next week, let's say Amira, that she could put up Kyle and Daniel. I think Daniel in that case would be the pawn and Kyle would be the target, which is unfortunate. I don't know that she would go for them. I think she would go for Monty and Joseph, but.
No, you are absolutely right. Like, I could not have said it better myself. He is so lucky that he has made a bond with Nicole. Nicole is giving him the capital that he needs and informing him of stuff. Being told about an alliance, and she tells you, and you do nothing with this information. Wild. Crazy. You are not a part of an alliance with these strong men. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I don't get his game. I really don't. I don't know what his game plan is moving forward. I don't know. I personally haven't looked for his, like, I don't know if he talks to cameras, but if he does
sometimes, but I don't think he really gives us anything worth.
But I don't get it.
Anything.
Like, how is someone going to claim that they're a super fan and move like this? Stop it. Just say you like the show. Call yourself a super fan. This behavior would not happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, like some super fans get paranoid and they kind of lose it, but at least they understand the common sense. He is in a position in this game where he can navigate really well if he uses it as information to his benefit. You get along with everyone. Okay, cool. Take your ego out of it. Take your pride out of it. Take whatever like trauma you have and move that aside and go get some money. You have this big alliance that's a part of it. You have your partner who, like, not your partner, sorry, but your, I guess, final two who knows about this alliance. You now pull I would love to see a Danielle and Jason strategy revived.
Yeah.
Not saying that they have the capacity and not comparing them to the two, but take these other people who are not a part of it, make an alliance, or make sure that you have strong bonds with them so that Nicole can protect you from the alliance she's in, and you can protect Nicole, and you can march out to final too. Like, come on. Where's logic, bro? It's just, I'm tired. Like, he just wants to be so well liked. But baby, this is not the game. This is not the game.
Nope.
You can be a villain and win. We've seen terrible people win. A la Evil Dick. A la Adam.
Yeah.
Like,
we see a lot of terrible people win.
It's okay.
Jackson Mickey.
Oh, Lord. That one thing about me, I erased BB21 out of my mind. But you are so right. You are so right. Like, you don't have to be liked by everyone. Like, you're not coming back for another season. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm not production.
You never know. David Alexander is on his TV for the third time.
Right. You know what?
Make it make sense.
Exactly. But it's just like come on. Like, stop casting people who don't actually want to play the game. Like, I can't anymore. Put people, dude. The amount of people who are in, and this is like a sidebar. Like, the amount of people who are in our community who play games, a lot of our favorite people have played games. Like, you know, I know Michael has played a game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a screenshot of like a confessional, which is so iconic. Slay. But put more people in the house who want to play. People are making big games at home. Some of us are losers. I included, who go on Zoom and last 8 hours a night to and win maybe $25 USD. Okay? It means a lot to me as a Canadian anyways. But let's start casting people who want to play the game. I'm tired of this. Like, Daniel he has claimed to be a super fan, has this big information, and is sitting there and doing nothing but hating on a Black woman who has literally no one and has like nothing. She has nothing.
Right.
Like, let's do something. It's ridiculous.
Right. F, for sure. I think for Daniel, and let me know what you think, only because he has Nicole looking out for him, I would probably put him like here, maybe above Monty too, because the girls are not coming for him the way they're coming for Monty, but I still think he belongs in F. What do you think?
I think he's above strictly because of the fact of Nicole. Like, he's writing Nicole's cocktails. And
Me too. Do you think he's above Indy?
Like, I think yes, actually. Okay. Here's why. Because I think the men would go after Indy before they came after Daniel. And I think that some of the women have stronger relationships with Daniel because he's doing nothing. F is for furniture. F is for fake furniture.
Yep.
Like, he's giving plastic furniture because he just a little bit of a reflection of other people's play game, but he's doing nothing.
Yep. Agreed. Totally agreed. Okay, Brittany. What is our girl Brittany doing? She's a mess.
Nothing.
She's ratting everybody out. For what? I don't know. She's chaotic. You can't trust her. She has allies. She's lying to everybody. She told Pooch the whole week she was voting to keep him. She's just saying stuff just to say stuff with no strategy behind it. I don't understand what she's doing. Isaiah, do you have any thoughts on Brittany and her game?
No, I thought she was showing a lot of promise at first, and now I feel like she's just kind of like stuck in a hard place. I don't really think she really understands what she needs to do to really succeed at this point. So it's really going to take just like an HOH or like a catastrophic event at this point for her to turn her game around.
Yeah. Josie, what do you think about Brittany? I mean, she's the backup target this week.
I just think that the moment she got put in backstage, she could have used this opportunity to do something, and she did the wrong thing. She was just paranoid. Like, we saw her in the episode talk to the camera talking about that paranoid Brittany is gone, baby girl. Baby girl. I don't know. The actions are not aligning with the what is being said, which is unfortunate. Like, she's in an alliance. She could have sat there and ate her food. She could have been a mat. She could have sat there and ate cereal, and we would have been okay with it. We would have been okay with it. But she's doing too much, too hard, too fast. It's giving Jess. For people who watch Celebrity Big BB, it's giving Sharon. Like, it's just giving too much letting paranoia control your game. like your destination, your navigation. It's unfortunate because she gave me a little bit of chaotic energy, and I was excited for that. Kind of like on an indie tease, like was going to be interesting to me, in terms of watching. But it's unfortunate, like she kind of positioned herself in this situation. Like she has no one to blame but herself. So what can you do?
Yeah, and it's weird because she was included in the Girls Alliance. She had a pretty decent relationship with Taylor. She has a great pair with Michael, who has a great sense for the game. She doesn't have to be doing all of this. She told Pooch that Amira was coming for him for no reason. Pooch went right back. I mean, the whole thing is a mess. I don't really know what her goal is at the end of the day. I think she's going to be in a full spiral being on the block. I think, I don't know what's going on feeds right now. Obviously, nominations just happened a little while ago. Who knows what she's going to pull this week? And I wouldn't be surprised if the target, once again, strays away from Taylor and says, let's just take Brittany out this week because she's too chaotic. Let's leave her on the block. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I agree with everything that both of you guys are saying. But I would love to see a Brittany HOH because who the hell knows what would happen if she does stay. So
that would be fun.
I'm here for it if it happens.
Oh, we would live for it on the feeds.
Yes, this is the chaos that we need. So I think we probably agree that she's staying in F, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's like going home. Like she's going home if Taylor doesn't win. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion, she should be the target over Taylor. Not because I love Taylor, but someone who's in a power position like Amira, who Brittany is clearly a liability for. Like if someone's a liability to my game, they need to hit they have to get the step in, for lack of a better. I know we don't like Mike Bookie, but sorry, it came out. Sorry.
We say that we use this trademark for the title of the podcast.
I know. We're all listen.
Okay, we like the game. We like the words that accompany the game, not the people sometimes. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
We like Chilltown, okay? Just
yeah. Okay, we're losers. Yes, okay. But Brittany, like, she should have just, again, sat there, eat her food. But I think she should get out this week because if I'm in a position, I would likely think that in a game I would be in a power position, but who knows? But I'm in a position where I'm covered in pretty much all of my bases. But Brittany keeps mentioning my name. Brittany, it's time to go.
You gotta go, girl.
And if anyone had common sense, which we've seen has been lacking, like I talked about last episode. If you haven't watched it or listened to it, go do that. But yeah, the common sense is not there because people are just so obsessed with Taylor, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. They're blinded. They are truly blinded by their hatred for Taylor when this girl has done nothing but breathe.
It's true.
I would put Brittany below Terence. I think Terence is going to outlast Brittany in this game, even though he's doing nothing. This girl is basically talking herself out the door. She could have been up last week next to Taylor if the Pooch didn't pooch himself out the door. So I think Brittany should be on the bottom here.
It's crazy. All of the girls who were backstage got so much like real estate or like, people were like, oh my God, are you okay? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just because they were backstage. I don't know. But they were given so many people to just like access. And she just threw that away. Whereas, like, someone like Terence had nothing and is doing nothing and is F for furniture. So,
Yep.
F for furniture.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, you've missed it. F for furniture is Terence. I said F for fun furniture is Indy. I didn't give one to Daniel, but I would. Oh,
F
yeah,
for
I did.
fake furniture.
Yeah, because he's giving plastic. Yeah,
we like it here.
Yep.
Okay.
Spelling is
all right. Let's see what we can do with Turner here. Our new HOH.
Oh Lord,
his boy Pooch is gone. His bestie, his actual bestie, not his Festie Bestie. His actual bestie Pooch is gone. It sounds like he's still in good with Joseph. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be. He's in power this week. He's getting his laundry done this week, which is an improvement. What do we think? About Turner? Where do we want to put him? This man still gives me the ick. I can't even look at him. Yeah, we should put him in the shower. S for shower.
Took a shower. No, I think I'm not a fan of Turner, but I mean, even though he's taking Taylor out or targeting Taylor, in the game, it's actually not a bad move whatsoever. You're not really like hurting anyone's feelings. You're not really um, shaking any boats. But it's really dependent on how he handles his HOH in terms of deal making. He needs to make a lot more deals this week.
Mm-hmm.
He has knowledge of the game, so I mean, he's more than capable to do it. I just don't know if he's going to be willing to do it because I'm not sure if he's even aware of what kind of position he's in right now. So, I mean, we haven't seen his confessionals. This guy is invisible, so I don't know what he's thinking in terms of the game. We just see what we see on feeds. So, I'm curious. This is like a huge wild card, but I feel like he's going to go with let's please the house as much as possible. So, he's playing it safe, but we'll see.
Yeah, Joseph in the chat says the house actually danced when Turner took a shower, which is just a sad state. It's a sad state of affairs.
Too.
I mean, I would too.
I would pull a Tamar.
In week one, when this man sat barefoot on Daniel's bed, I was like, nope. Like, and that was week one, and it could only get worse from week one. So, yeah, I think Turner. It's weird to me that it was so easy for Jasmine to say Taylor ran my HOH last week when Taylor was literally on the block since Friday. Noms happened and didn't win veto and could have gone home. He just needed an excuse to put Taylor up. He didn't put her up. She's a backdoor target. Michael and Brittany are the noms, but the goal is still, as of right now, from what I understand, to get rid of Taylor. Let's see what Brittany can do. But I don't feel like Turner has much agency in the game. I mean, he basically just let Jasmine tell him what to do. He's in with the guys, kind of. Not really. I mean, his one guy's gone. Like Isaiah said, he's barely on the show. I don't even really see him on the feeds that much. Like, maybe this week he could do something, but we don't know much about him. Josie, what do you think?
Yeah, to your point, again, one thing these house guests are missing is common sense. Because how is it that you can let Jasmine convince you sorry, I was going to say something. But this girl has literally one HOH. She makes a decision. She got on the wheel. She did a quick little wheelie and then turned the keys after she made them fall and decided who went up. How are you going to tell me that Taylor, who has nothing and no one, who was supposed to go home week one, went up to your HOH and told you what to do? How does that make sense? Especially since you hate her. How does that make sense? And that's what a lot of these house guests aren't getting. Because Jasmine can go out and lie all she wants. It's the fact that Turner is consuming this BS and choosing to tap into this false narrative that makes no sense. It's like he wanted to put Taylor up. He needed an excuse. If he believes it, I really hope he doesn't for my mental health, because it is incredible how Jasmine can sit there and lie and tell you guys that Taylor, of all people, controls her HOH. It don't make no sense. Aside from that, Turner has no one and will literally, like, he is next to hit the door, quite frankly. Like, who's going to protect them? Who is going to stick their neck out for someone who don't even take a shower? Let's be real. Like, he has no one, nothing. And the thing is that he has what I'm going to call a Gino week. It's a week where you just have to put up who everyone in the house hates, and you can keep pushing. Now, the difference is he going to take this to his advantage? Is he going to go and cultivate these relationships that he doesn't actually have? Obviously, people are going to go out to him, kiss his butt, blah, blah, blah. Like, Joseph in the comments said that, like, people were kissing his butt today and that people are offering him free pass to jury. Yeah, and I can offer my firstborn child. I can lie. Everyone can lie. So it's like, are you really going to get these relationships that you need on such an easy week? Like, I don't know. And obviously, things can change. So, again, he just needs to piss off a few people and not take some showers for a few days. Mm-hmm. He can have, Terence go home, or one of the people he cares about who don't really, quite frankly, care about him, or who have no social capital. At this rate, like, he is lucky in HOH. That's it.
Yep. I think the one saving grace also that he has is that he's with Jasmine as a pair, and a lot of people don't want to put Jasmine on the block right now. I don't think she's a house target. So because he's the bestie, I don't think that he's going to go up on the block anytime soon. So thanks, Big Brother, for your terrible twist. Where do we want to keep Turner here? Do we want to move him up a little bit because he has HOH? Like, I don't know that he's going to be able to translate this HOH into anything after this. He's taking an easy shot.
It's tough because, I mean, if we want to go by what we think should happen. I mean, he can go a little higher, like if not like top of F, or maybe even bottom D. But it's also like, do we think he's going to do this? Like, this is a whole lot of assumption right now.
Yeah.
So we just have to predict what he's going to do during his HOH. It's like, is he going to do the right thing, or is he just going to like be safe? You know what I'm saying?
I would probably move him above Indy here. I don't think he's going to be anybody's target right away. I think he's just there. I mean, everybody was saying, you know, his name was floating around a little bit last week, but I think now that he's doing the house's dirty work and getting Taylor out, Pooch is out, they're not going to be looking at this guy. Like, I think he can very easily float to jury. Unfortunately, we're going to have to look at this man on the feeds when they decide to show him for a couple of weeks. I would put him here. I think he's better insulated with the guys than like Indy. Like, the guys are going to save him over Indy. It just makes sense. Let's talk about our girl Jasmine.
It's for
Funk. F is for funk.
I was going to say F is for filthy.
Filthy.
He's filthy. Yeah.
Yeah. F is for filthy
Loser.
for sure.
Anyways.
Gives me the ick. Let's talk about Jasmine. Who wants to start? Josie, you want to start? You want to start on Jasmine?
Yeah. Fake Southern Belle talking DR bullshit. Shut up. Next. Like, I just can't. I can't. Okay, the only nice thing I'll say is that she has good editing skills, or she has a good editor, because there was
those videos
for TikTok, and it ate. I'm woman enough to admit when something eats, especially within my field, and it ate. But besides that, I don't even know if she edited it. So, you know, but besides that, Jasmine has control over the game, and it's kind of crazy to me because she is rocking one foot and you know, sliding and driving around with a scooter. It's crazy to me. How is she sitting there and telling Turner, oh my God, it's I really don't even want to give her credit. I think it's a lack of common sense from other house guests. But she sat here and lied, and he took it.
Yep.
It don't make no sense. Make it make sense. I really don't. Like, she, you know, she's in a good position. She's safe this week. She was HOH last week. She got a big target out, which is going to be on her resume.
Yep.
Technically, which is okay. Like, she wanted Taylor to go. So, like,
yep.
I don't want to give her credit for someone else's work. She's really well insulated within the house, which is so frustrating because all she's done is hate on a woman. Yep. Like, let's be real. Like, she's done nothing, but she's well positioned in a lot of these house guests. And I don't know if it's because of the HOH. I think it's because of her alliance. I think it's who her friends are. I don't even think it's game related, to be quite frank with you. I think she got along with some girls, and these girls who are playing the game, i.e. Nicole, i.e. Amira, like, she gets along with them. And so now she's in a good position because she's with them, and they pretty much told her what to do because they tap into common sense, which is why they're in B and not an F with her. Like, like, she has nothing to be proud of because, to be quite frank, I don't think she really did anything. Like, she got a group of people who were talking common sense, and she listened to them. And now she's lying, and she's getting away with it, but it's a dumb lie. So the fact that she's getting away with it is not because of her, but everyone else. So honestly, quite frankly, do I think she deserves to be an F? I don't know, because, like, at the end of the day, she's well positioned in the house, but it's not because of her. Like, I could see her going to the end and someone just destroying her and saying, hey, like, I did all of your moves. I told you what to do and you listened. So that's all on that, I guess.
Yeah, I think my thing with Jasmine is she did what Daniel should have done with her HOH, and she made allies outside of her alliance. She's not in post pack or whatever they're called. But she's good with basically all of them. I think she let Nicole and Amira make a lot of noise for the women, but she sat back and they're going to take the heat for it, and she's not. I think that she is injured and she's using that to her advantage to say, it would be really rude if you guys put me up. Like, don't put me up. She's already playing it. I agree with Joseph in the chat. Jasmine's going to get a free pass to the finals. I think Jasmine's going to make it to the end of this game, and it makes me sick to say that. But I think every other woman in this house is a bigger target than Jasmine. I think she's going to be the last woman to get put up if the guys try and break up the women. I just am nervous that we could have a Jasmine winner on our hands. It makes me like, this will be the worst season. But she's gonna go far, I think. So I really don't think it's fair to put her in F. What do you think, Isaiah?
Unfortunately, she's going to get the Christmas upside where
Yep.
the injury completely tarnishes any kind of threat level that she had remaining. She didn't have much to begin with, but I think now when you have a major injury, your threat levels drop to like 0.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like a front runner for any competitions if you can compete half of them. I don't see a one-legged person winning a relay race this season or anything. So, yeah, I mean, you could bump her up to D strictly because I think she has longevity with her injury now. But it's not really much of her own doing. I think it's just, I'm not going to call it lucky because, I mean, he wants to break their ankle. But, like, I mean, come on, so she'll be around for a while.
I think I'm going to put her here for D because I do think she's going to be around. She had that whole house waiting on her hand and foot. Every single person was cooking her food and she was so ungrateful. Did you guys see this thread of her on Twitter complaining about every single thing, not saying thank you to people and just complaining about every single thing these people made her? And they're still not getting fed up with her. It's just, it's wild.
There was a clip going around of one of her confessionals from the episode I didn't watch. She said she's going to serve up a plate of blindside butter beans.
Oh,
no.
what?
Ma'am, please go back to bed. Go get your scooter. As Nene Leak said, where is your scooter? Where is your scooter?
I don't know why all her confessionals are like connected to like Southern food, but like they're really leaning on
they
that.
They really are pushing her into
one thing about I will say real quickly, I hated that they literally asked her, do you want to play in this competition? Take her out the house. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know what? Some of us have been dying for, like there's been other twists that could happen. We've invited house guests before. Pull a drag race. Someone gets injured, you take them into the next season. We're fine with it. We get it. We care you were casted for a reason, blah, 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 whatever. No one's going to be upset because we get it. An injury. Like if, what's her name again? Loud. What's her name? I'm forgetting her name.
Christy.
Yeah, all right, I'd say Loud because I don't know. If Christy came back this season, no one would be like, why the fuck was y'all cast? She had COVID. Like everyone would be like, okay, we get it. Like it's the world and it's fine and it's fair. And it's the same thing with Jasmine, even though I hate her. Or strongly dislike her. I don't know her as a person. Strongly dislike her and what she's done to Taylor. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, why is she getting a second opportunity? I get it. You just got injured. I'm empathetic. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Why are we letting these people come on the cast? You would not cast someone who was injured from the start. So why are we letting people be injured in the cast? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, it changes the entirety of the game. Like, I'm never going to target Jasmine because I'm like, I may not be good at competitions, but I can surely beat her. Like, that's the reality. She's not going to stand and do an endurance comp. No. So why is she in the house? Like, it's just frustrating and annoying. Like, let's start taking these people out. Like, if you want to do an injured season, go crazy. Do an alternate season. Do someone who couldn't do it. None of us would know. None of us would be the wiser. Put Marvin on the cast. Put her on the cast. Put Chrissy. They can all get loud together. I can't. Like, I just find it really stupid. Anyways, D is for, what can I say? I don't want to say damaged because that sounds a little risque, but I'm going to say, what does deranged mean? I want to clarify that for me.
Deranged.
I don't know the definition. It's like, she's just like, oh, she's deranged. She's like out of her mind, kind of.
Well, she's not that. I'm not going to say that.
Deranged.
Like
she's not
mentally unsound. Yes. Crazy sense.
Okay, I can't say that because I don't think she's the issue. She's not the problem. Let's go with dreadful because I can't.
Okay, perfect. Dreadful is perfect.
She might not be the problem, but she is a problem. We will say that.
So I know that's right. Come on, brother. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Okay, last in our F tier that we have not talked about yet is Monty.
Boo! Boo.
Isaiah, take it away.
It's just more, I don't know. He just sucks. Like, man, like I saw this post on Twitter that I really agree with. They were like, we need more swaggies, man. Like outside of the the obvious like issue with like the charity basketball
Yeah.
game he hosted and everything. Like we need more, just like pro black guys. You know what I'm saying? Like no shade to Kylan, no shade to X, DF, but like I mean
Oh,
they
she's a
kind of.
David.
I ain't gonna say that. He's a nice guy. I met him recently, so shout out to him.
Oh well,
But
I haven't met him. Sorry.
but
Oops, I've been
but
dragging him on a weekly basis on TJ Hates Quitter. Sorry, David.
I refrain any slander. He's a nice guy. But like I feel like Big Brother unintentionally or intentionally has kind of gone down this road where like we only cast black people who kind of like associate with like a certain demographic and they don't really like to identify with like their black side. And that, I mean, that's not even any shade to like the people in the cookout from last year because obviously they did the damn thing. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, X is like from a white family. Kylan kind of associates with specific people. Same with DF. And I don't know what Monty's like day to day, you know, outside of Big Brother life is, but within the house at least, it seems that he's just really not into the whole idea of like black people working together because he doesn't want to be seen like a cookout 2.0, you know. And it seems like it's almost like his strategy to like openly like go against that kind of narrative where it's like you don't need to like ostracize like Taylor, for example. I know we keep bringing her up, and I don't plan on making this a rant about her that, but like you don't need to ostracize her just to benefit your own game. I see Jasmine do it a lot as well, so it's like I don't know. I Monty is the type where I feel like he should really be doing good in Big Brother. Like you know, he's very personable. A majority of the people like him, even though he's like a threat. But it's like since he's not really taking advantage of like his awesome position where he can have like a killer social game. It's like he's kind of like he's kind of settled in with like this Paloma's cult alliance and like it's that to the end. And I was worried about that because he said in his interviews that he would want to be a part of a team. But it's like you really should be prioritizing like one-on-one binds. I don't really see him doing that. I don't really see him working outside of like that big Paloma alliance, and I'm worried for him. You know, like we already saw Nicole and Amira talking about wanting to get him out. I can see that expanding a lot if if the wrong person wins HOH, specifically one of the girls. So it's like I am not really impressed with what I've seen so far. It's strange because he seems like a textbook type of archetype that will like win one of these games, but he's just not doing what he needs to do. So I don't know. How do you guys feel?
Josie, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Loser. To be quite honest, Isaiah, I would love some context from you because he's from your area, right? Like he's from Delaware, like near exactly where you live.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of black people in like that area? Because I know some cities don't, which is fine.
It's a little bit of everything, but yeah, I have a lot of black friends, of course. Yeah, like from what I've gathered from him and the people who are like were mutual followers, like he went to this he was in a sorority
Fraternity.
Oh my god, he was in a fraternity at UD, and the people that I do know that knew him are black. So I mean, like he obviously knows black people.
Okay.
But like in the house, he seems like very anti-black. So I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and here's what bothers me. I can understand. We've watched this show long enough, you know. We know that when two black people are in the house or more, they're automatically going to be paired together. We get the dynamics. We've seen it several times. I could list you a bunch of names, but I won't. Like it's like we've seen it. It's normal. I get it. But the thing is that there's never been a point in time where these house guests who are of the same race, I'm going to say black, but it's just black people. People can hang around each other, whatever, and kiki haha. It's not the same thing. Let's be real. But black house guests come into the house and then they have to navigate the game and try to want to work together to a degree, or just have to make sure that they're very distant, even though at the end of the day they're going to be always pulled together. We saw this really with like Big Brother Canada 9. So with that, I can totally understand being like, you know what, I don't want people to think there's a cookout 2.0. You know, we just have this season, but that doesn't mean that you should take the platform that you now have in the house to then go encourage other people who are not of your race to go bash a black woman. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. Like, you have no excuse. I could get it. You could be, we don't just vibe. We don't vibe. And you don't vibe. Okay, cool. Like, there's a clip of Taylor, like, doing her hair or something. And he's sitting there in the background. He asks her a question. It's silence then. That's okay. People in the house are not stupid. Well, some of them don't tap into the common sense. But I'm going to say some of these people aren't stupid. If you don't vibe together, you don't vibe together. It's normal. It's fine. C'est la vie. But you don't have to go ahead now and kind of like low-key give the okay for other people to bash them. And then he takes it a step further, talking about, I'm a black man and blah, 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 and making it worse because he is a voice within the black community, which is quite upsetting. Shut up. Sit there and move on. You don't like Taylor, you don't like Taylor. You don't have to associate with her. That doesn't mean you have to drag her down. Come on now. Come on. Tap into common sense. Tap into the common sense. It's not there. In terms of gameplay, this is exactly the same case that I was talking about earlier. These people forget that this is an individual game. Only one winner. Yes, you're in a big group alliance, blah, blah, but what happens when it's all 6 of you? Then what? And that's not going to even happen. When have we ever sat down, except for the cookout, but that's black excellence, when have we ever seen an alliance go to the end unscathed? Like, the only other alliance I could kind of think about is like BB, is it 11 or 12? With the meow meow and all those guys. Even then, they had to take a hit at one point.
12.
But he made it deep. 12, yes, thank you. So, like, all that to say is that to me, it just doesn't make sense for Monty to sit there and be like, let me just be a part of the group. Let me be a part of the guys. Like, okay, and what? Like, if you're disposable to them because you don't have a relationship. Thank you, the brigade. Thank you, Valencia. I love you. It's like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, he's doing nothing for him as a player. He's a part of the team, like he said he was. But this is not a team sport. This never was. This is an individual winner. So wake up, smell the roses, and win. Why are you on again? Why are people on the show if they don't want to win? I don't get it. Stop casting people who are sheep. Let's get a bunch of leaders and just like tear the game apart. Like, that is what we want to see. I'm tired. Like, Monty's so fucking disappointing. Like, I can't.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing to add to anything that you guys said. I think you, especially about his gameplay. Like, what, does he leave the pool room upstairs? I mean, I don't ever see him integrating with anybody else or talking to anybody else other than the guys. Like, he's just not making the relationships that he needs to make. He's blinded by whatever it is, this thing that he has against Taylor. That's all he cares about. I think he's letting it really rub some of the girls the wrong way. And I think he's going to be a target coming very soon. I think him and Amira are not really getting along super, super well. We saw them butt heads a little bit last week. I think him and Nicole butt heads a little bit last week. I think he's at the head of the snake of like, the guys have to take out the girls and whatever. Like, it's just not going to work. I think he's going to be a pretty easy target. I think that him and Joseph are a nice juicy pair of strong guys to get out of the house. Either one of them leaves, everybody's happy about it. I don't see it going too well for Monty. I think we could probably actually leave him right where he is on this tier list. I don't know what you guys think.
I think we forgot to mention the fact that he almost went home last week.
Yeah, he was a potential backdoor target. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like you guys do nothing for this game. F is for failure. I can't.
F is for failure, for sure. Before we move to the D's, we left Taylor in her own tier here. What do we want to say about Taylor this week? It's just unfortunate. She was saying last night in the feeds that she entered the Big Brother house and obviously like selected to play on hard mode. It just sucks. This is all completely out of her control. We thought she was making some inroads last week with everybody. It seemed like she really did make some relationships with people in the house, but they're back to bashing her again. I mean, they were bashing her last week too. Alyssa now has really started because she had one conversation with Kyle, and Alyssa, we'll get to this when we talk about Alyssa, but she's obsessed with Kyle, so now she's using that as an excuse to bash Taylor. It's just like the whole thing is a mess. I know we've said it before. Some of us are saying, we would like to just see her get out of the house so she can understand that she is really well loved out on the outside and be embraced by people who love her. It's just, I want her to do well in the game. I think she really has what it takes, and she's so good so far. Like, she's not the best player ever, but she has good instincts. And I think if she had a chance to actually play and get people aligned with her who wouldn't stab her in the back and use her as a disposable tool, she could be good at the game. Her and Michael, I think, Josie, you mentioned Danielle and Jason earlier. I think her and Michael really would have a shot if she was not at the top of every single person's list. Like, Michael likes her. He wanted to save her last week. He wants to kind of continue working with her this week, but obviously they knew as soon as this twist was announced, it was either going to be him and Brittany or her and Nicole. They knew last night before Turner even said anything, it was going to be one of the two of those pairs. So it's just, she has no shot. It's like she has all of these things stacked up against her that it's like impossible to break through, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
I echo everything you said.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. You know, it's unfortunate that this was the cast that she was given. You know, I feel like different group of people, way different outcome, because she has everything that I would love to see in a great Big Brother player.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know that we even have to say much more about Taylor. I mean, feel free to add anything that you want. I just think, you know, we've talked about it over the last couple of weeks when we've had this podcast, and it's just like, nothing's changing. We had a glimmer of hope last week, and it's already gone. 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row, she's a target. She's going to be on the block if she doesn't win veto. It's basically in her hands, and it's tough. It sucks to watch.
Yeah.
So we will not be rating Taylor against anybody else because she's in a league of her own. It's not fair what she's up against. We'll leave her in her own. Let's move on to D. Do we have anything to say about Joseph? I mean, he's there.
I would drop him to F. I'm not gonna lie.
I would drop him to F too. I'm with you.
He's not doing much, man. Yeah.
The only thing I will say is he is the only one who tapped into common sense last week, telling the Pooch to not feel comfortable, and Pooch sat there and like pretty much spit in his face. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The only one tapping into the common sense. That's all I'll give him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in a good spot this week because he's friends with Turner, but he's not in any alliance. Like, I don't think he's in any alliance at all. And I don't think that's really struck him as odd. I mean, he's just around. He was cuddling with Pooch all week last week instead of making relationships with people when he knew Pooch was going to get out of the house. He has somewhat of a relationship with the girls, but he's a very easy... Him and Monty, like I said, are just like a juicy pair to put up and take one strong guy out if they want to target a guy. And no one's going to miss him if he goes, I think, unfortunately.
I know he's a recruit, but like, has he seen the show before?
I don't know. It's a good question. I have no idea.
That guy was there for good vibes. He was there for the vibes.
What did this man say in casting is what I want to know.
I think
what's the guy who's
to be quite real with you.
Yeah.
I think that's
how many Instagram followers do you have? Okay.
It's like, who's the guy that he replaced? I totally forget. Who was the one guy?
Marvin, America's Got Talent.
I feel like he would have been pro-black, man.
My
like,
African thing.
Yeah, we were missing his presence because
Yeah.
Joseph is not it. And
Not it.
I was expecting like a Claire upside. He's not giving Claire.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's giving furniture, man. So
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I would probably put him like here. I don't know what you guys think.
yeah, I'll put him lower than.
I don't think he's upset enough
Lower than
people.
Monty.
I think Monty has made himself a
Me
threat
too.
actually. So I think Monty would go
You
before
can switch him.
Joseph. But F is for furniture, and that is where he belongs, quite frankly. Yep. So,
Yep.
Kiki with the others.
Yep. Exactly. Alyssa. Now, Alyssa has made a few interesting decisions last week. I think she's still good with the girls, but she really is coming on very strong against Kyle. Not against Kyle, for Kyle. She likes Kyle. She's made it very obvious she wants to be in a showmance with Kyle. Kyle has many times said, like, I'm not doing a showmance. And Monty the other night was like, you just need to kiss her. I don't know if Monty said it. Someone said, maybe Joseph. It was all the guys in the room. You just need to kiss her. Kyle was like, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. And she is like obsessed to the point where it's like awkward. She's like claimed him as her own. She's mad at Taylor because they had a conversation.
Ooh.
Kyle knows that she's mad at Taylor because they had a conversation. It's just a mess. I don't know what she's doing. What do you guys think of Alyssa? I don't know. Is she playing the game? Or is she just being a hater and then like an obsessive stalker?
For someone who claims to love the game, to me, it's not making sense. Control your emotions. If you want to hook up with him, there is postseason. You can get into that. There will be cameras. Jory, if she makes it. He's definitely making it. Let's be real.
Yeah,
but all that to say, it's like, get it together. Already, the jealousy. Taylor walks, breathes, looks at this man's direction. and she's up in arms. It's the whirlwind, the whole enchilada. I don't know. It's getting a little weird. You're a fan
Yep.
of the show. I would expect you to reel in your emotions and control them and use them to your advantage. This guy's not into you. Okay, relax, dial it back in. You know, you can manipulate the situation if you wanted to. Let's be fun. Let's be creative. Let's be
Yep.
um I don't know if that's a term. Fuck it, I'm gonna drop it. But let's start doing some work. Let's start, let's start using the common sense. Let's start tapping into this game sense, because clearly it's not there. If you wanted love, there is clearly The Bachelor, and they would have clearly casted you. You fit the archetype, bestie. So
Yep.
let's play the game. Let's relax. Let's chill on the hormones. Like, I can't. It's getting weird.
What do you think, Isaiah?
Yeah, she definitely feels like she fits more in like a Love Island or
Yeah.
something else. But I mean, she claims to be like a super fan of the
She
show.
said in the
So
DR she's a super fan.
so I don't
I'm
know
so sick of
how
the
to
game.
feel about her, but like we'll see. I mean, there's still a chance for Alyssa to do something. I'm not completely out on her yet, but I feel like her head's just not in the right place. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little patient with this one, but she has to get it together.
Yeah, I think with the Festie Bestie twist, it's just Nicole and Taylor and her and Alyssa, her and Indy that are the female only pairs, the women only. So if a guy wins next week, or if something unforeseen happens where Taylor wins the veto and uses it maybe on Michael and Brittany, which is probably not going to happen, maybe they could go up and one of the girls could go, but I think it would be Indy before her. I'm inclined to kind of just leave her where she is and see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Same. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how the strategy for people was picking their bestie. Because if I'm Alyssa, I would have immediately went to a man. I don't know. I think it makes sense. The character she's supposed to play, the fun, cute blonde flirt, like blah blah blah, put her with a man. She goes on the block, the man is obviously a bigger target than her. And then she spends some time with a guy. The guy will probably like her, and then she can get in with the guys. Not to say that that's the gameplay I would play, but that's clearly what she was casted for. Tap into your archetype. Tap into your, like, come on now.
Yeah.
Again, common sense and game sense, just not, people not tapping into it, clicking into it, subscribing to it. I don't know.
Yeah, that is one thing I'm interested to see, is how these pairs came to be. So we'll probably find that out on Sunday, I would imagine. We have Kyle sitting by himself. I know, 2-hour episode would be better. We have Kyle just sitting alone by himself in C.
Yeah.
Kyle is a pleasant surprise for me, I have to say. I mean, I was very down on Kyle when I saw him cast. He hasn't done anything to really personally offend me, other than like the same shit that everybody else is doing that offends me. But he's a little better at the game than most in the house. Isaiah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he portrayed himself to be the twerker, but I mean, he hasn't done any of that. Like, I don't.
That's so real.
It's like he's just like he is the generic person that's just naturally going to do well at the game every single time. I thought Monty also filled that role, but like Kyle is that. My only fear for Kyle is that he doesn't really strike me as a person who has like that killer instinct or that willingness to take command. Now, granted, we said something similar in Big Brother Canada 10 with Josh, and he shocked us all and became like this huge villain. So I mean, like, I'll be patient. Like I think Kyle has longevity, but I don't know. We got to wait and see. But I mean, if there's a winner pick right now, I mean, it's blatantly him.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that a lot more people aren't seeing that.
Yeah, and he has this really good relationship with Michael, who I think obviously we know he's a strategist, he's a player, he is an actual super fan. There's a picture of one of his tweets from BB17 that was portrayed on the show back when the show was airing. I mean, like, he's been watching the show and really is into it. He, obviously he watches feeds, he's been tweeting about the show. I think him and Michael could really do a lot of damage if they continue working together. Josi, I'm curious to hear what you have to say about Kyle.
I'm gonna be honest. He gave me the ick. The TikTok videos, it gave me the ick. I was so down. It just got to the point where he would speak, and it just like made me cringe. Early on, preseason especially, Even like the premiere episode when he got like gooped, I was like, okay, relax, it's not that deep. But I think he's the only one kind of playing the game.
Yeah.
And that's why he's in the scene. Because if this was a regular, normal cast that, I don't know, has common sense, C for common sense, you know, he wouldn't be the best player. He'd probably be an F tier, but he is put in a cast where it's clearly lacking. So he's doing remarkably well. Am I surprised? I think I said it the first episode. Kyle is just straight man, white man at that. So he immediately just kind of makes it to jury. And then the fact that he's the only one tapping
Unless
into
your name is
common
Pooch.
sense. Oh, loser! Unless you do the stupid behavior, then you kind of make it to jury automatically. Just don't put your foot in your mouth and you're fine. Like, that's just the game. So, you know, he's the only one kind of playing the game. I am interested because now he has a showmance. And honestly, you know what's crazy?
Well, he's saying no. He does not want this showmance. He is absolutely against it. So that's the common sense that I like to see.
But if he says jump, she'll say how high.
Yes.
And that's power. And that's power. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's like, I guess the closest comparison I could give it is like maybe Caleb and Amber, but even then that was a little weird. Actually, Alyssa is weird. So, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to compare it to the two. But, you know, he has leverage. So, you know, he can kind of use her. Not that I would like a woman to be used, but it's the game. And this is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has the most interesting gameplay. I think him and Michael could be a killer duo. If they just work together. I think it's unexpected. I think if you look at Kyle, you might automatically go Monty. Like it just like you would gravitate. But Michael, who the way he's playing, you wouldn't expect it. So
I would actually maybe move Kyle up to B. I don't know what you guys think. I would put him bottom B.
I think he has the capital.
I'm ready to move some people out of B. So I think he could go up to B.
He's going back B. I think honestly, he's the only one. It's just because he's fucking the only one playing. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Some of them are playing, I think, just not that well, which I think we could talk about Nicole right now. We'll move up to her. We're up to the B tier now. She was bottom B before we just moved Kyle. Josie, what are your thoughts on Nicole?
Yes. Nicole. Oh, how can I start this off in a nice way and build up? I just think Nicole had a good, slight moment of common sense and she let it slip. she let it go. She's here for the show. Like, honestly, it's so sad because we had this slight moment of potential with Amara. We really did. It was there. It was clicking. And now we have this twist that literally just sets her up for jury. She's taking it. She has been partnered up with Taylor. I don't know if she picked her. I don't know what came into this position, but she just got locked out. Taylor is going before her, and knowing BB, she's probably going straight to jury. I don't make the rules up. I just look at what's in front of me. And that's the role she's played. I thought she was going to play the Derek archetype because she's a cop and stuff like that. But she has not positioned herself well at all in the game. Like, I don't think she is like kind of like bumped heads with like Monty. You know, I don't think there's anyone writing for her except for Daniel. And we know how I feel about Daniel. So clearly it's not looking too good. I don't know. It's just disappointing. How can you have common sense and then let it slip out of your hands? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think Nicole, it's interesting. I think she has like a pretty decent game sense. She had a pretty good relationship with Pooch, I think, for a little while. She has, I think, a decent relationship with Turner. I don't think the guys, aside from Monty, are necessarily coming for her. I think, you know, she's pretty well insulated from like, just generally, like, I think she's cool with Joseph. Like, she cooks for them. She's cool with Terence. Like, I think she has her people. Maybe not that she's gaming with, but I don't think anybody's really, like, coming for her right now. I think it's just, like, you know, she really is positioning this like she took one for the team. You guys, I took one for the team. I think if the guys are smart, they'll take this opportunity. They know Taylor's not going to win this game. take out Nicole. Mm-hmm. It's a big move. Take it, do it. If Turner wants to do it, take a big swing this week. This is a swing. It weakens the women. Taylor is just, she's an easy out. We'll see if they're smart enough to do it, but I think she's set up. She's going to make it to jury. I mean, even Michael was saying earlier to Kyle, I think it was to Kyle, that, you know, she's already setting it up to have all the people that she wants to have in jury with this Festie Bestie twist. So it's like she's already plotting it out. She's putting the pieces into place. So I think she's probably, I would keep her here. I don't know, Isaiah, what do you think about Nicole and her gameplay?
I'm gonna just be straight up, y'all. I think a guy's winning this season. I don't have a lot of faith in the women this season. And unfortunately, that's gonna. I think Nicole has like rays of like good player, but like I think she's too caught up in the sauce with everyone just kind of being distracted with like Paloma's miss at week 3, may I say, which is kind of crazy. And you know, she's not focused, man. So I'm gonna be straight up. I mean, I'm still rooting for Taylor to be in the game. But once she's gone, I'm very curious at what this game is going to look like. Like I don't know if people are really focused. I know they said Terence after Taylor or maybe Monty, but like, are y'all really going to do it? Like what? Like you guys talk about girl power, haven't done it. You guys talking about wanting a strong guy out, you guys haven't done it. Like I don't know. It's all talk, nobody. You know, so I'm not too high on her. I will put her in C tier, but we'll see.
I'm good.
Also, Katie, you mentioned something that is kind of resonating with me. You said that she kind of has her people kind of because she cooks and she cleans, I guess, which is, you know, that setting women back 50 years. I don't know if that's the gameplay. But honestly, to be quite honest, at the end of the day, Big Brother kind of runs like a clique, especially this season. It's very cliquey. And while she is a woman and she's cool with people, she's kind of like an outsider. Like, yeah, she's a part of the six. Okay, but what? Like, they're not going to her really for advice. The only person really is Amara. But even then, like, Amara and her are kind of like taking a lot of like the heat for like the women's side of things. So those two are going to get shot first. And the other people that she's kind of okay with, they're not doing anything in the game. They have no capital whatsoever. So she is really the one taking the lead. So she's probably going to be the one taking the fall for a lot of it. Like when the dust settles, people are going to look at her before someone who is well insulated in the game because it will be much easier maybe to convince people to vote out Nicole over Amara, for example, depending on who you're going to. So, yeah, I don't know. She's, oh, God. I don't see her winning at all, to be quite honest. And she was giving Derek tease preseason, perhaps, but it's not delivering.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think C is a good spot for her. We'll see where she goes and what happens with the twist and if she gets a power and sends her straight to jury. But even then, I think if that happens, she'll be the target right away. So moving on to Amira. I think Amira had all of the tools in place, and I think she is just maybe a little too strong-willed and talks a little too much, and maybe getting some of these guys, feeling the wrong way about her, feeling like taking this shot at her would be a strong move against the girls. Feel like she's digging herself a little bit of a hole. What do you guys think about Amira?
I think the best comparison I can give Amira is she's kind of like Shan to me. Like you want to, obviously, besides the whole Taylor stuff, I just think there's she's taking a lot of the lead in conversations. Not I say I'm making that face. Follow me here. Shan was a big target in Survivor, and she stayed that way because she kind of, hello? Not you making that face. I said what I said. She was a big target, and I think it's because she was very vocal and loud about what she wanted and her decisions. I think Amara is very vocal and loud about what she wants, not like screaming at the top of her lungs, but when people think of an idea, they probably think it's from Amara. Like, we've had the push. Obviously, Brittany, people don't trust Brittany, whatever. But the fact that Amara's name has been thrown so much by Brittany, like, it's going to plant some seeds. She's already being viewed some type of way by some of the guys. Like, she's just out of this cast. she resembles Shan the most in that sense. I'm not saying that she's exactly like Shan because I think Shan was a little bit more strategic, but I think that's the closest comparison I can make to it. I think honestly, she's strategic and she knows what she's doing, but she's doing too much. It's okay to sit back. It's okay to sit back and let other people do whatever you need to do. And obviously, I'm going to keep referencing Kevin because we love fucking Kevin. But like, for him to just control the game and no one even know he was doing it really, he just sat there and let people do it for him, or he just said the enough information to let it fester. Like, that is what we need from Amara because the ideas are there. The things are making sense. She's the only one really trying to target the men. She's the only one trying to actually fulfill her promises. But like, it's because she's doing it too much in the forefront that she's seen as the face of the Women's Alliance, even though they don't really know it, but they know that she's taking the lead, and they're gonna go after her first.
Yeah, I think Turner was planning on putting her up this week if he won, but obviously now he doesn't want his guy Terence to go home. Isaiah, what do you think about Amira?
The disrespect to Chantel Smith, man.
How is that disrespect? Please elaborate. I'll listen because I didn't
Chantel. What she did was she would, if she had something she wanted to do, she would apply pressure and make sure that thing happened, no matter what. The better. We're talking about Survivor 2 seasons ago, right? Yeah.
Did she not? Is she not the reason Pooch is gone? Let's think about it. It's not the reason.
It's a little bit because people.
Let's be real.
Because if we're going to be real, Paloma wasn't messing with Pooch from the beginning, and she put that energy out there.
Right.
A better comparison, in my opinion, is Laurel from Survivor, where I feel like strategically sound, knows what they want to do, but then doesn't really like apply pressure. Like you put your foot on the gas pedal for like 5 seconds, and then when things kind of look like a little iffy, let go and just let whatever happens and hope that it works out. So like I don't think Amira is a bad player at all. Actually, I think that she's more equipped for like the late game. But I feel like if she just continues to let her possible assets just go home, like a Taylor who she sort of wants to keep here, like a Brittany who could potentially, if she gets her act together, like if you can convince her and actually talk to her, or like honestly, she just needs to keep enforcing girl power. But if you just let girls go home, I feel like she has way too much confidence in like her connection with the guys that I don't think she really has. Like I think if she doesn't take advantage of like the early game, when it gets to that late game portion, she's going to have a rude reality check. So I'm not too confident in her, but I mean, I've been proven wrong before, so we'll see.
I think I would move her here.
Yeah.
One of these two. I would probably tie these.
I'll put her over Nicole.
Yeah.
I still say by my comparison, I'm not saying she's the same as Shan. I'm just saying it's giving forefront biggest target for the side that she's on. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
The girls that get it. The girls that don't. So, okay, next.
Last but not least, we have Michael. Michael, I think, far and away, is probably playing the best game in this house. He's the only one that has strategic mind. I think he deserves to be in a B, maybe even an A. He's a comp beast. So he's on the block right now. He's not the target. I think if anybody was smart, they would make him the target. But I don't think that that's going to happen. He's insulated with Pose Pack or whatever they're called. He has a good relationship with Taylor. If he stays on the block, I think Taylor would be a vote to evict Brittany over him. I think obviously he's got a really good thing going with Kyle. Look at these two white men with glasses. These two they look like brothers, sitting at the top. What do we think about Michael? Where do we want to put him? Where do we want to keep him?
Let's keep him there. He's not on top or anything, but like he's playing from the bottom pretty well.
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of people play from the bottom and completely take over, including the last season's winner. So I mean, just keep him there.
How many take a shot every time we mention Kevin. But besides that, I was gonna say, honestly, if I would have participated in the draft, he would have been my first pick. to be honest. And the fact that he is picking up where I thought he wouldn't do well, which is competitions, is crazy to me. I don't know if his name is being brought up once, but the fact 2 vetoes in a row, top in the HOH competition. I don't know about this last competition. I hope he flung himself and, you know, pull the Dave on. You just fall immediately because at this rate, he is too good. He is winning these comps. He is eating down these comps strategically. He taps into the common sense. Working with Taylor because she's alone. He gets it. He gets it. He sees it. He gets it. He sees it. And honestly, for someone who calls himself a super fan, I'm glad that he has. Because out of the 4 or 5 people who have been tossing out the word around, he is the only accurate one. We've seen the tweets. We've seen it. We've seen the behavior. We've seen the material. I'm quite here for it. I think he has a really good potential. I think he's kind of cool with the boys. I think the boys would be scared to throw shots at him. You know, and then the girls, they view him on you know, their side. So it's like he's well, but he's in the middle of the house. He is the middle of the house. So, you know, props to him. He's doing a fantastic job so far. Yeah, and it's because he's tapping into common sense. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. That's it.
Yep, totally agreed with you guys. So we'll leave Michael where he is. So we have Michael and Kyle at the top. In B, we still don't have anybody in S or A. In C, we have Amira and Nicole. In D, we have Jasmine and Alyssa. In F, we have everybody else in this house except for Taylor, who's in her own tier. So I will go ahead. I'll stop sharing my screen. Any parting words? Anything else you'd like to say? Josie, anything you want to plug? We'll wrap it up here.
No, honestly, we thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the viewers who are currently commenting and interacting with us. And obviously the listeners who are listening to us later on from our live broadcast. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or PayPal me if you're feeling generous at JosianeXNM. So JosianeXNM. I talk here. I talk on Just So Damn Messy. And I guest star on some few shows. Like, I don't know about that. TJ Hates Quitters. So get into it. Yeah.
Isaiah, I'm looking for your banner. But in the meantime, what would you like to hear? What do you want to plug?
This podcast is the only reason I'm still watching this season. So, you know, we're out here. You can follow me like usual at 8 Ball Bangers. You can find me on various podcasts over here at Silent Podcast, as well as RJP talking about Big Brother. I was just there for the last episode where we talked about Pooch spanking himself with the spatula. So you can check that out. And you can find me on Purple Pants Podcast and wherever else I'm at. Oh, and check out Survivor Philadelphia. The first episode's out.
Isaiah the Star.
Great time. Silent Podcast is doing a podcast for that too. The first one drops Monday with Mark Levy and Davey and a couple of other people. So make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, it's a fun time.
Awesome. You guys can go ahead and if you would like to, drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at RealSlimKatie. My Instagram's not that interesting, so you don't have to bother with that. But you can follow me on Twitter at RealSlimKatie. You can also, if you would like to follow me on Twitch, you can do that as well at twitch.tv/RealSlimKatie with an underscore at the end. It's free to drop a follow if you would like to support. You can also find me on TJ Hates Quitters here at Sound Podcasts, covering all things Challenge USA with Carrie. We're also talking about all things the Real Housewives universe on the Cool Water Show, which we drop weekly on either Sundays or Mondays after the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's been a lot of craziness going on in Real Housewives, so we are breaking it all down for you, including everything that goes on the internet and all their drama. So yeah, feel free to give us a follow there. And you can also follow us all over the place on social media for Silent Podcasts. Go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube. Subscribe to us at Silent Podcasts. You can also follow us on Twitch at Silent Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at silent_podcasts. You can also give us a listen to anywhere. Listen to us anywhere you find your podcasts, and please go ahead and give us a rating or a review if you would be so kind to do so. Only if it's 5 stars, though. We don't want any of that 4-star crap. Just only give us 5 stars. But it does help us get discovered. It does help us out a lot, and that's another thing that's free to do. So if you like what you hear, please go ahead and do that. Thank you guys so much. Until next week, we're still figuring out live feed coverage, streams and stuff. It's rough to keep up with these people, you guys. I got to be honest with you. So we'll see what we do. We'll surprise you. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.